What's up, Vibes fam? Peter Von here for another episode of Queer Vybez. Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here for another episode. I have my dope friend Shaun here today to talk about our queer community and our transgender queer community. It's going to be a dope episode. I'm so happy to have you here, Shaun.
I'm happy to be here.
Welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
Thank you for being
Welcome
here.
To my space.
Yes. Thank you for having us in your space, your beautiful space.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, so stay tuned, y'all. It's going to be a dope episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you're feeling all of these queer vibes, support the channel, support your girl. Oh, I dopely appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for the support that you already give. We'd love to bring you some more dope episodes, more dope information about the queer culture. So welcome to my channel, y'all. In this episode of Queer Vybez, we meet Shaun, an incredible transgender male and a dear friend. We'll explore his role as a barber in Long Beach's vibrant queer community, talk about his journey through transitioning, and touch on topics like family, self-acceptance, and the challenges faced by transgender individuals in our society. Whether you're curious about the transgender community or you're a part of it, this episode is for you. Welcome to Queer Vybez. What's good, Shaun? I had to look over. What's good?
What's up with you, man? I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
I'm feeling really good, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I've been excited for a minute to have this conversation with you. So I'm grateful to have you here.
Yeah,
Thanks for being open and willing to share your journey within the transgender community, because we got some shit to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. I don't know if 45 minutes we'll get it all.
We'll try.
We'll do our best.
We'll definitely try. We'll try. So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm glad you're feeling good. We've talked about, in the short time we've known each other, we've talked about many different things, gone down the rabbit hole, many different journeys, the spirituality, the culture, queer culture, Black culture, all the things. So I was like, I need to have you here so we can talk about it on camera.
Yeah.
Because
I'm excited to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the queer culture is definitely a culture that isn't talked about in a more energetic light. Like anything in regards to the queer culture, it's usually something's happening.
Something's going on.
Right.
Yeah. There's some agenda of some sort,
and it's never always good.
Not really.
Yes.
Not really.
Yes, we've made strides.
I think within us, we've had some good periods.
Yeah.
As of recent, probably not, but there have been some periods out there, but it's almost feels like, when we have something to celebrate, it's taken away pretty quick.
Yeah.
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 So it's always like this constant fight. Yeah.
That's a great way to describe it. There's always a consistent fight.
Yeah.
Just to be. Just to take up space.
Just to exist.
Just to express.
Yeah.
So no more of that shit.
No,
so,
I pray.
We get to start here. We get to start
right
here,
man.
So
these conversations are important.
Absolutely.
They really are important.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm grateful and honored to have the platform to do it.
Yeah.
So let's jump in.
Yeah.
You identify as being transgender male.
Trans man. How did the journey start for me?
How did the journey start for you?
Oh man. I feel like that's like super loaded, because the queer journey has always been there.
Right.
It's like one of those things, and I think what's cool about being queer is that you have the freedom to evolve and create whatever it is for you that belongs to the individual.
Yeah.
Like, so even though, when I was born, obviously I was born a female, and I knew right away that I liked girls. Yeah. So that was just
like how young?
I feel like right when I hit puberty, I was already like, Alyssa Milano is real fine.
Alyssa Milano.
She was the
80s
one. Yeah, she was the one.
If you're from the 80s, you know.
Right.
You that's the only way you know. Who's the boss? Is the only way you know. I got my Lisa Bonet. I'm repping the 80s today with my Lisa Bonet on. We're here for it.
Yes.
And I love that you get the 80s.
Yes, I do. I'm
48, so 48, 43, we got it. The 40s, we got 80s down.
But yeah, I remember having a dream. This will always stay with me. I had a dream that I had a penis.
Yeah?
And I woke up and I told my mom that I dreamt that I had a penis.
Yeah.
And it was so real for me. Like,
yeah.
I have a penis. Mom. She's like, it's just a dream.
Yeah.
She's a Filipino woman. She was, it's just a dream. Don't worry about it. But I knew, like, there was something there. Like, there was something about being boyish. And even, you know, growing up, like, the dresses, the makeup, the long hair, I'm like, I ain't vibing with any of this shit.
None of it, huh?
No, and by the time I was in high school, I was already like wearing my dad's clothes and like, you know, I was definitely doing like the boy thing. I'm so sorry about my phone. But I was very much aware I was at least a tomboy. Yeah. Because in my time frame of the late 80s, early 90s, there was no talk of transitioning. No. Like transgender, transsexual was like the word that I believe that we used back in the day. Yeah. You didn't talk about that. It was hard enough just being gay, you know, let alone being trans. Yeah. So as, you know, life progressed for me, I was too busy even to really think about it. Mm-hmm. And then you start seeing visibility in media, like with media, because I didn't have media either. You know, there was no social media. There was no, like the internet was barely coming on board when I was in high school, you know? So there, like the visuals just weren't there for me.
But did you know? Even though the visuals weren't there, did you feel like you were in the wrong body at that point?
Definitely that. Okay. Because there was just the question of like, I don't like my breasts. There's something wrong there. Like when I close my eyes and I see myself, I don't see that. I see something else. Okay. So it was really around like a lot of chest dysphoria was like the biggest thing. Like, I don't relate to what's happening up top. Yeah. Wasn't so much like the bottom, but really like the top. Like, I see that. Yeah. You know, when I see myself. Yeah. So I was strapping down. Wow. In high school. I was strapping down. I joined the service. I strapped down in the service. You know, when I was out and about, going to clubs, like I was pretending constantly, you know. But it's hard because you're like lying about who you are. It's like you can't really like meet anybody because, you know, like it just doesn't exist. Because they haven't told the truth, You have to eventually like be honest. Like that's not what I expected to see when you're naked. Yeah. I'm so sorry, one more time. Should I just
can we
turn this? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I want to get to that study session today, sir.
I know, I'm trying. Papers due. Anyways, but yeah, man, there was a lot of like, I was just hiding a lot. I was hiding a lot. But by the time like I like got married and then life was visible, internet's there, social media is there, Instagram is real, like our MySpace was actually like first, I think. But there was some visibility to transgender. So when I started seeing that, I was like, oh, but the resources still weren't there. Yeah. Like the medical part still wasn't there. And like you couldn't really talk to therapists around this because the therapists, like queer therapists weren't really a thing either. Yeah.
So at that point were you like, I need to
I was just doing life. Yeah. I was too busy. I was a parent. I was married. Yeah. So I was just lifing. You know? So
and how old were you at this point? Like early 20s?
No, by this time I'm in my 30s. You know, I'm just living life. Like I was fine. I was contenting. Okay. Being I'm living as a female. Like it is what it is. I'm focused so much on the sexuality of it that I'm not really like attaching gender to anything.
I see.
But when in my marriage, I started seeing myself different. I started, taking pictures. I was on this like serious weight loss journey at one point, and I'm looking at photos of myself. I'm like, what the? Yeah. Like I'm not vibing this at all.
Yeah, you're like this is not me.
And I'm 40 at this time, and I'm like, dude, something's got to give at this point. Yeah. Like I can't keep living my life fake. Yeah.
So you were still strapping down the whole time?
No, this point I wasn't. I stopped caring about trying to hide so much because I have kids too, you know what I mean? And I have to like be as real as I can be. Yeah. But also that it's like internally and externally need to happen. So I started having the dialogue around the transition with my then wife.
Okay. And at that point, you're like, this needs to change.
This needs to change.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was hard for them. Yeah. So.
What was your then wife's reaction to that?
I mean, she got it. She was really trying to, because we had already been married for 11 years at this point. Yeah. And it's just something I kept quiet, but I'm like, for them, I was in the role. Yeah. Okay. Like I was being the husband, I was being the father, my kids, like if somebody called me he, it wasn't like,
you're not offended.
They called me dad. It wasn't like, there was in our world, it all made sense. Okay. So in the outside world, there wasn't no trip. Yeah. And we lived in Orange County, and there was still like, you couldn't really tell I dressed very baggy, so you couldn't really see a whole lot. I looked exactly like this. I'm not on testosterone. Yeah. So I'm not taking things that would like change my facial structure, my body structure. The facial hair I have, like I do shave, but it's minimal. Yeah. And yes, there's like a little mustache, but that's not because of testosterone. This is just how I've always been. Yeah. So that's how I know, like, I was supposed to be over there. Yeah. I was supposed to travel this road. Yeah. So it wasn't that she had a hard time with it. It's her family that couldn't deal so much. It was hard enough me being queer. Yeah. There was a whole other vibe, like, oh, now you're going to go ahead and transition to a highly Christian family. Wow. Yeah. It's just.
Were her family accepting of the queer culture?
Not really.
Okay. So then.
Not really. I mean, I think it was like a blessing for them that we got divorced. And I'm happy for all of them. They're great, but.
Did you get a divorce over?
Not necessarily over that. Okay. There were other variables. We won't talk about that right now.
Right. I get it.
There was a lot of things, but a lot of it had to do with, I'm seeking something that isn't here. Yes. So I think it's really like wrapped around that. Okay. Yeah.
So when you had to make a decision, or when you came to the decision that, okay, I'm going to transform my body to match what I feel on the inside, what was that decision like for you?
Oh, I'm just doing it.
Yeah. Like
I have all the access to resources now. Like, let me just find the therapist. Like, what is the pathway? So it's finding therapy first and having the conversation around how you feel with someone. So you find your nearest LGBTQ center and you just start having dialogue. Okay. And then they kind of point you in certain directions. And then I have friends too. Because I'm a barber, I have people in my chair all the time. So it's kind of easy to like pick people's brains. Yeah. So I do have some clients that are transgender.
Did you know anyone that was trans before your surgery?
Yeah, I have quite a few, like my clients before my surgery.
Oh,
I have quite
okay,
a few
before, I
clients
see.
Yeah, because I didn't have surgery until 2020. Yeah, so I was already, 48, 45, 46, something like that. Wow. Yeah.
And at that point, at that age, right, in your life, did you feel like it made sense to do it at that point? Where you're like, I might be too old for this?
I think when you're younger, you're more apt to like have influence. I'm not saying that you don't know who you are, but you don't know who you are all the way. You're just discovering and rediscovering. Like I said, I was living my life without resources, but I was just chilling in this lesbian lifestyle, as they would call it. Yeah. But when you start getting the education and you're adding it into like your stability in your age,
your life experience,
you start knowing who you are. You're like, this is right. Yeah. This makes sense. Yeah. In my 20s and even in my 30s, it didn't quite make sense yet. Like I couldn't figure it out. Yeah. And there was nobody to talk to figure it out. Like nowadays, the kids are like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing. I'm like, what the? I wish I had those resources when I was 20. Yeah. It might be different. But that wasn't the path for me. This was the path for me.
Exactly. Yeah. So once you got the surgery.
Oh man.
Tell us about
confidence, man. Like everything changed. Yeah. I was very quiet.
So you only got top surgery?
I only got top surgery.
Okay. And then?
So I got top surgery. The process itself was a piece of cake. Okay. But there was, I won't lie, there was like a level of remorse is not the word. It's like a grieving process because it was a part of you. It's like there's a lot of flesh. It's like old. It's almost the same as if you have long hair you've been growing out for years and you cut it. Yeah. You're just like, oh shit, I just cut my. So you're looking at yourself. You're completely different.
It's a different identity. Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit, what type of man am I gonna be? Like that's a whole other road I gotta travel down. Yeah. You know. So I was excited. I was scared. Very nervous, but mostly excited about it. Yeah.
And once the confidence,
it was like.
Did it feel aligned?
It felt very aligned. It still feels very aligned. Yeah. Oh yeah. There was no mistake.
Nice.
No mistake.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, then tell me about the process for the people around you, like your mom and your ex-wife.
Getting top surgery. I was already divorced by the time I got top surgery.
I see.
Testosterone was actually the first step that I traveled down because I thought that was what you're supposed to do.
Okay. Is that not what you're supposed to do?
You don't have to.
Okay.
It's not required. I know some people would disagree. For me, I took testosterone for a full year. It was very hard to get regulated in my body. My body just was rejecting it. Okay. And by that, I mean like my personality was changing. And I'm like, I don't like this guy at all. It was like I was in me, but the person that was behaving was different than who I really was. Oh. So I wasn't vibing that.
I see.
So I had to stop. Okay. It was just a little like almost volatile, just attitude, because you're essentially like going through puberty
all over again. Yeah.
And I'm 40. I'm like, I'm not with this. And I'm like, dude, you can make a very conscious decision. Like, you don't have to do this. Yeah. And there was really nothing about it that I enjoyed at all. So for me, it was just getting the surgery was it for me. Yeah. That was where life began. Okay. For sure. But people, I have a ton of friends that are still on T, have been on T for years and have figured out the levels of where they're supposed to be. But for me, it was just too much, way too much.
I see.
Even on a lower scale, a low dosage scale it was too much for me. But having the surgery, the process itself, I'm not quite sure what you're looking for in the process, but you find a really good surgeon. Someone that's willing to do the research on your insurance, because that's a lot. Obviously, you're not paying that out of pocket in the state of California. So there are doctors out there who will, like my doctor was a plastic surgeon in Santa Monica. He's amazing. He took really good care of me.
Can you say his name? Who he is? Remember?
It's like on the tip of my tongue. I will send you the link though.
When it comes, you let me know.
When it comes back in my mind. Like, right in the mind, I'm like, I can't think of his name. But his team was just great. Oh, Dr. Youssef. Dr. Youssef. And the facility is Unique Cosmetic Surgery in Santa Monica. Okay. So yeah, he's just brilliant. He's just a brilliant doctor, and he was just very good to me about my particular process. So,
in what way? Does he like sit you down and talk to you about the process? What's going to happen?
All of that.
Pre, post surgery.
It felt personal. It felt like he really cared about me and what this surgery was going to do for me. He told me step by step, like what he was going to do, drew all the lines and how he was going to pull certain fats out of the way, do the lipos after so you don't have the dog ears. Like that's a thing, like you have like this flap that kind of hangs if you're overweight. But, and it's important that you are staying in good physical shape so you can withstand the aftermath, because there is an aftermath. You have drains hanging from your body for about a week or so. You're exhausted, and then you can't really like do any physical activity for about 4 weeks. Okay. Even though I was trying to cut hair after 2.
With the drains?
It's the scarcity mindset, bro. Like, scarcity mindset. I'm like, I got to go back to work. Yeah. Not a good idea. Okay. No, you should like
just take the
rest. But when the drains came out, I felt very free, man. Yeah. Like, I can't even explain. It was like the highest feeling that I could possibly feel. Wow. And even my kids were like, oh, dude, you're like super confident right now. Like they could feel it on me. Yeah. And then I started coming into myself. I was a lot more vocal. you know, I was almost like funny. You know, I never really saw myself as being funny or outgoing or like just walk up to people and have conversation. Even the way I barbered was different.
Yeah.
So it just, when you know who you are, when you really know who you are, and you step into your authenticity, regardless of how that looks, whether you're trans or whatever level of queerness that you're in, when you step into your authenticity, it is the most beautiful, purest thing. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
No.
So I hope people can get there as quick as possible.
So that's dope that you just got to honor like who you really wanted to be, who you knew you were and who you wanted to be. And then to take action, fully step into that and be aligned. Like, I honor you for that.
Man,
that's absolutely amazing. Because
that's
brave.
I'm super proud of myself for being willing to go down the road. Because having conversations in my 40s. And I say that like it's almost like it's a blessing because, like I said, I feel like I've spent so much time learning about myself on the inside that I was really confident in my decision to just, you're doing this. Like, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, it wasn't like an impulsive thing. Not that anybody's out here doing anything impulsive. Like, I'm not trying to say that, but I just think there are things that you need leading into having surgery or, you know, trying to stop, because you're putting chemicals in your body, you know, so to make those decisions, they need to be sound. So it's always, you know, I always tell people just, you know, make sure you're getting therapies and making sure you have a support system, you know, having people that like have your back. To kind of help guide you through some of this stuff, because it is like, it's a road. And it's not always simple. You know, right now I'm traveling down I'm changing my name officially. And it's all these things have been in stages, but this is where even like my name change it's more of like oh shit, my driver's license is gonna be like for real, and the credit cards and like everything, you know what I mean? Like,
and even the pronouns even.
And the pronouns, because before it was like I was on the cusp, like he, they. I wasn't quite sure still, just kind of, but now I'm like he. But just seeing my name on my social security, I just got my social in the mail. I was like,
I'm official, bitch.
It's Shaun. I was like, dang, finally.
Who were you born as? What was your name?
Birth name? Chandra.
Chandra. Okay.
And
I'm always meant to be Shaun.
I was meant to be Shaun. Even when I was in high school, like pretending. It was always Shaun. So my question for you as a trans male, like for those who are interested in, because it's a huge decision. It's big. It's big to where you had to get to a certain space and point and alignment in your life to then make that decision that was good for you. But amongst just like having a support system and like a therapy team, like what do you feel like people who are in this space of wanting to transition into either genders or just not be that gender that they are born into, like I think
what do you think it takes to get there?
I think it takes a lot of self-love. To be honest with you, I think it's loving yourself enough to not hear anybody else when you're designing your path. You know, and that's not, I keep saying, it has nothing to do with even just being transgender. It's just anything that you're doing in life, your job, your, you know, whatever it is that you decide to do. If you love yourself enough to make decisions for yourself, they're always going to be right. If you just get rid of the noise. But you have to be, when I say loving yourself, is being able to sit with yourself when it's dark as fuck. Excuse my French. I don't know if that's allowed.
It is.
But when it's dark as fuck and you start making room for the love. Because when it's dark, you listen too much to all the negative bullshit.
Yeah.
And you're making decisions off of ego and, bitterness or, just some of the wrong things. When it's love, it feels full. It feels, it feels free. It feels light.
Yeah.
So when I stepped into transitioning, because I didn't have to.
Yeah.
I could have stayed the same.
Yeah.
But making those choices for myself with the knowing you love yourself enough to step into this man.
Yeah.
So step into him.
Love it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that. And it's even like being a barber. I was a corporate guy, for years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I fucking hate this job.
Yeah.
And I got myself fired.
Wow.
But when I became a barber, it was like, I don't, and looking at my poor ex-wife, she just had to deal with so much shit, I swear. But I came to her, I was like, I'm gonna go to barber school. She's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
That is not gonna make any money. I'm like, I'm gonna make it make money.
Yeah.
It's gonna make money.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And you just do it because you believe in who you are so much without even the people that love you, even though they say they support you, but if it's against how you're feeling, because that's what I feel like that's where the love is. If you feel like whatever they are saying is making you feel anxious or any of the opposites of the light of the of the freeing feeling, if it's the opposite of that, then that's right for them. That's not right for you. You go with what's right.
Nice.
You avoid a lot of stupidity that way.
Yeah.
Like real shit.
No, I feel you.
Real shit. Even in relationship choices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your body knows when that person is not for you.
That whole part
but you over there convincing yourself like, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right.
Yes.
No, it's not. It's really not though.
You better preach on this. Preach on up in here,
It's
Shaun.
really not.
Because that one spoke to me. Yes. Because we do that.
And we do that. We convince ourselves that we got it.
Yeah.
And you might have it for a while.
Yeah.
I had it for a while being the other person. It was cool. I wore it.
Yeah.
But I wore it like it was clothing, but I was anxious to get it off.
Yeah.
And now that it's off, I'm like,
that part.
Thank
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's beautiful. And it also it's not easy to actually go against what you've been doing or what society says or like the norm, right? It's actually quite brave to step out of those roles and beliefs that's been ingrained in us growing up from our parents and generations before that. And all that we come with, it's not necessarily our fault. All that we come with that we've known and that we've learned, it's not necessarily ours.
No, it's not.
A lot of it isn't.
It's not. Most of it isn't. Even my family, like I don't talk to many folks in my family. But my mom, she does her best. And I show her grace. I'm like, she's 68.
Yeah.
I can't really sometimes she wants to call me Chandra. It's okay. She named me.
Yeah.
I give her that, you know, where a lot of folks are, they get really upset with that. I understand being upset. Like when I hear it, sometimes I'm like, huh? Like, who's calling me by my government name? It's no longer my government name, but you know what I mean? Like, you get that, like, who knows me by that?
Yeah.
But my mother is the only person that gets the pass.
Right.
You feel me? Like, because she named me.
She birthed you.
She birthed me. And it's like 40 years of calling me one thing, I can't really expect her just to be like, all right, I'm turning the switch.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that's right. So I show her a lot of grace, but she surely does try.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, she really, really does try. I tell people you're my son and da-da. I'm like, that's cute.
That is.
She's sweet.
Yeah.
She's trying.
That's cool.
And she's disabled, man. I'm like, it's all right, Mom. You got enough to worry about.
Yeah. What was she initially accepting after surgery?
Not really.
Where was she? Was she like, I lost my baby? What was she saying?
She didn't. Because at first I was very like, my name is Shaun. Yeah, I was that guy. And then therapy and releasing some, because the projecting was about other things. It wasn't, it was like me feeling like she needed to control me.
Yeah.
Because that was our relationship. That is not our relationship today, you know? So learning how to like, heal our relationship is totally different. So once I started to understand like, she's 68.
Yeah.
She can't always remember, and because she's disabled, like she's also like losing some stuff upstairs. So how can I just be so hypercritical of her?
Yeah.
When
she's trying her best. And
she's trying her best.
Even people who are not in that state
Yeah.
of like being disabled or it's just a matter of them getting used to who you are now, who you choose to be now.
I mean, what I know of her is that she loves me.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Yeah.
There's no question there. I will always be her kid. Like, it's just, I'm just with a different name, but I'm the same person to her. Yeah. So that's all that matters to me.
So was there a point where you just saw the acceptance, or she was like, okay?
Yeah, my mom finally told me, I think last year, we started having some real hard dialogue around things that happened when I was young, things that happened when I came out.
Yeah.
Just a lot of pain, just trying to like be honest about stuff. I didn't want to hide because I stopped talking to my mom for several years.
Wow. Okay.
But then, we finally started having some dialogue where she had to just swallow what I'm telling her. And she's like, you know what? I'm really sorry. It took me so long to see you.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang.
That has me right there.
Dang.
Wow.
That's so powerful. Grateful. It was.
That's so powerful.
Because it changed us.
Yeah.
It completely changed us. Yeah. And anything outside just no longer mattered.
Yeah.
It just didn't matter. And whatever was with us, that didn't matter either.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm grateful. Like, I don't know how much longer I have her, but I'm so grateful that I have that to hold on to.
Yeah. Just to have your mom see you.
Yeah.
For who you are.
Yeah. It's a trip.
Right?
It's a trip.
Like that. I felt that.
It's a trip.
Damn.
I know. I'd be like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel
there
that.
There was a lot of tears there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Because she's not vulnerable. She's not emotional. She's not like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like a hardcore Filipino woman.
Yeah.
There are no feelings.
But that's dope, though, that she was finally able to just see you, which is amazing.
She's different, too. Yeah. You know?
Right.
So she's totally different.
Yeah. So. I think as you change, then the people around you have no choice but to, like, adjust.
But that's the gift about all of this. Mm-hmm. Even in being in queer, it's like, I think I've had a conversation with you before about how we have a tendency to police each other. Mm-hmm. In the queer community, and not giving people the real room to grow into themselves without all the rules. There's a lot of rules.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I'm still figuring out where the fuck I fit.
Yeah.
In my own body.
Right.
Let alone where I fit in your world.
Yeah.
I can't always focus on this world over here.
Yeah.
I want to, and I support it.
Yeah.
But I'm still here in myself.
Out your world.
Yeah. So when I hear like the hypercriticisms from my family, my colorful rainbow family, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why are we even talking about this? Like, why is it not okay for me to go down this road? Mm-hmm. And it's okay for you to go down that road?
Yeah.
I'm gonna love you still.
Yeah.
Regardless if we agree with you. That's the beauty of all of this. Like, it doesn't matter if you agree with me or not. Yeah. You love me, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the rainbow.
Right.
Love is
love.
Love
is love.
That's
where I was going.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Yeah, man. It's not for anybody to design or tell me how I'm supposed to be queer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell me.
Yes.
I'm done with anybody telling me how it's supposed to be. I've been doing that shit for too long.
That part.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. You can guide me with your knowledge.
Yeah.
With some clear, factual knowledge, but if it's based on an opinion, it's just that. I get to choose whether or not I select that for my life.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you tapped into that, because I agree. There is a whole thing in the queer community that we are just here judging each other and, like, again, providing rules and regulations on how to be queer in our own queer community.
Exhausting.
It is.
It's exhausting.
And I think you shared a story with me too about a business owner that was hating, and they were actually queer as well.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
It's so odd, because I'm like, first of all, when I came to Long Beach, I'm like, I'm in the mecca of queer outside of San Francisco, of course. But I'm like, I'm in a community where it's extremely diverse, not just on the queerness levels, but like on the cultural levels. There's just a lot of different types of people here. It's beautiful to me. I'm like, I don't have to pretend to be anybody.
You don't have to hide. You don't have to. You just.
I can walk down the street and it's all good. And I get there. Some people don't get all of it, but for those that live here, that know what exists here, they are trying the best they can. But I don't shame them. Like, I don't respond to like hatred with hate. I respond with a lot of love and compassion. That's the only way. But I was trying to do an event because I do haircuts with my nonprofit. We do haircuts for youth members in need, youth members in the community. And last year, my focus heavily was on queer youth. So I was trying to put this event together to do like a Friendsgiving, doing haircuts for the queer youth. And we were going to do it in this parking lot. That was the idea. And I noticed that there was a shop near this park. I don't want to give too much away because I'm not trying to like put this person on Front Street, because they are who they are. But I walk into the barber shop and I'm going to introduce myself. And I'm telling her what I am or who I am and what do I do, and that we're about to have this event. And she's like, not in this parking lot. And I was like, oh, I was just thrown aback. Like, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, so is this mean we can't do an event here? It's like, she's like, it's gonna impede my business. This is not okay. I'm gonna talk to the person who was helping me coordinate, was another owner on the same street. And she ended up calling the city. She made a lot of complaints, and the restaurant owner was like, she's a lesbian. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, she's not. Because when I was talking,
you're like, no, she's not.
She couldn't be, because her response to me around doing something positive for the queer kids, she was like, well, that's good for them. I'm like, for them? I'm like, you mean for us? Because we all queer. Like, nah, she wasn't vibing that. She's an elder. She was an elder.
Even if it were to impede your business, like, for the day.
Yeah, even it probably,
for a few hours.
Right. Ultimately, it helps, because here's what happens. Like, here's what happens at the queer events. So I invite barbers and stylists from all over Long Beach or from wherever else. And whoever wants to volunteer can volunteer. It's volunteering. But when people come, people then gravitate to, to the participants, to the people who wish to receive a haircut. I have not taken anybody into my personal space from that event. But I have a lot of barbers and stylists who have participated and volunteered at that event who still cut all of those participants. It's really like to set it up so people can find their people. You know what I mean? Because how hard is it if you're trans to go into a barbershop or go into a salon and be yourself? These events are designed to help people find their people so they can then, now I know who to go to afterwards. It's not a business scheme. It's just to help you feel comfortable in someone's chair. So then you can get into your image.
It's to uplift the queer community. So
that event didn't happen in that location, but it ended up happening.
So
later on.
It's the saddest thing to hear,
sad.
because there's
and you
already
know who helped us?
Who?
Gentleman in Bixby Knolls from the Expo Art Center, who is not queer, who is like, an older white man, where most people would be like, oh no. But he was an ally. He's like, dude, we need diversity here in Bixby Knolls. I'm like, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
For just giving me an opportunity just to do something for the community. He's like, whatever you want to do anytime.
That's amazing.
They're awesome over there. I've done 2 events with them so far, you know. Like,
I love it. Thank
crazy.
you, sir.
Yeah,
thank you for supporting, being
Blair,
an ally to the queer community.
Expo Art Center, Bixby Knowles.
Bixby Knowles.
Bixby Knowles. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
Because there's always...
He just embraced all of us. We did a drag show up in there. We do all that.
That's
it's not just the haircutting. We bring the DJs. Jules, my partner, she dressed in drag and she put a performance together and we performed.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. That's what we need.
Yeah,
we need more of that.
Yeah,
so to having somebody just killing the vibe.
Yeah.
Over the queer, and they're queer
and
also.
They're queer.
But there's a lot of that going on in the queer culture.
And there's a lot. And my response to that, or my understanding to that, is there's still a lot of trauma in the queer community. You know, so it's like, for somebody like, I don't know her life.
Yeah.
I can only assume her life.
Yeah.
Because if it was me, you know, feeling like we've gone through some wars in our 40s, you know, like when it is being queer, like we've had to fight some really big battles in the past. So I can imagine her little box. And we still are.
Yeah.
But it's like this constant trigger.
Yeah.
It's constant trigger.
Yeah.
And some folks haven't let go of some of that stuff yet. And that's okay. Like, I accept her where she is.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Give her grace.
I give her some grace.
But that's beautiful because, like, persons like you and I can come in and be like, hey, you don't have to be that way. But we're trying to do something great for the community. I'm sorry that you don't see that, but no, like, this is our intention, is to uplift the queer community here in Long Beach or wherever else, you know, you hold these events. Yeah. That blew my mind when you told me that story. It was like, wait.
I still haven't done an event here in Long Beach. But there could be one coming soon. I'm crossing my fingers and I'm going to tackle this location soon. So.
Because we really need it.
Yeah, we do.
And
we do.
Yeah.
And I get we're like super protective. We're just like, when it comes to like the queer youth, like we're very, very protective of the queer babies.
Yeah.
And one of my friends who's also trans, he was like, you know, we always talk about safe spaces, creating safe spaces. And he's like, there's no such thing as safe spaces out in this world. We're going to create so many safe spaces. It's like they're just going to run into insulin all the time and never know what it's like when it's rigid.
Yeah.
They're not going to know how to cope.
Yeah.
You know, and this is why like elders and the new queer babies have to like come together so we can teach each other. One, we learn the new language because there's new language.
Yes.
And there's a lot for us to adapt to as the elders. Because before with the pronouns, I was like, what is they and them?
That part.
It took me a while to get it.
It's still taking me a while.
And I still mess up, but I understand it. Yeah. But I was like, it's grammatically incorrect. I just don't get it. That was my thoughts.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, you as an elder, like, no, dude, you can't hold on to the old ways. You have to be willing to like adapt and change and evolve still, even in your 40s and 50s and 60s. You know, but the youth also have to understand, like, I was here 30 years before you. Yeah. I might know something that could help you.
Yeah. Because then we had a tougher time back then, too.
It was rough.
So
it was rough.
We got some coping
Especially if you were on the cusp of, like, androgynous. You know, like, androgyny now is like, oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Back then, oh, no. You wore pants? Oh, you didn't wear makeup? You cut your hair short? Oh, shit. Like, oh, man, it was like a...
It was a whole thing.
It was like World War II.
It was a whole drama.
Yeah, man. It was ridiculous. When I cut my hair, because I had long hair. When I cut my hair, my mom was like, I don't like this. Like, I know, but I love it. And I'm going to do my little comb over and sweep the hair back. I'm doing it. I'm
trying to picture with the comb over.
That wasn't cute either. Like, I had to figure it out, but that wasn't it. That wasn't it. And now I'm growing my hair long. Like, go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure.
But not because of mom.
No.
Because of you.
Yeah, because
you want that.
I want it.
That's part.
I still shave the sides, though. There's still fade underneath all that.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That's how you like it. Yeah, and mom's going to love it.
She loves me. She will love me regardless.
That part.
Yeah.
But coming back to the queer hate, queer on queer hate.
There's enough hate.
There's enough
It kills
hate.
me. I'm like, do we have a lot of people against us already?
Absolutely. So, so I'm talking to the queer community. Let's not hate on each other.
Let's not.
Especially the trans community.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of hate happening to the trans community that is not necessary.
It's not.
I was reading an article this year alone. 15 transgender people died this year. Hate crimes. 15 in 2023.
And mostly are trans women. Mostly, you know. And this is where when I talk to people, like, I love when people want to do like podcasts with me or whatever, and they want to talk about the journey and stuff. I'm always like, I just don't want people to feel like I'm so brave, because I blend right in to everybody, to society. You know what I mean? Like, when you see me on the street, you would never know. You didn't know.
I did know.
You know? So when I say it to people, they're like, oh. So technically, like, it's not so brave. In my body it is. In my heart, in my mind, in my spirit it is.
I think it
but
is.
But it
just
is.
For sharing.
Yes.
Just
what I
sharing.
mean by that is that trans women, when they're going through the transition, it looks a lot different.
Yeah.
It looks a lot different. I have a friend who's in the community. She's a barber, stylist. I met Charlie when Charlie was different.
Yeah.
You know, we did an event together, and she was not she. And when I saw her transitioning, I was like, that is fucking brave.
Yeah.
Because she's my age.
Yeah.
And she started transitioning when I did.
Wow.
So she's going through all of and the journey medically is so different.
Is it?
And how she shows up in the world visually.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's different than it is for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, oh, you're brave.
Yeah.
So every time I get a chance to see her, I'm like, I fucking love you, dude. Like, you're fucking beautiful. It's crazy to me, because I know, like, there are people that would see her and want to harm her quicker than they would probably walk right past me.
Yeah.
You know, so in that respect,
yeah,
existing in the world, like, she's got it a little tougher than I do.
Yeah.
You know, so mad respect to the trans women in the community, man, for real.
I respect.
Yeah.
So we get to accept.
Yeah.
And we get to stop killing our trans people.
Yeah.
And period.
I mean, I would hope it's not any of the queer folk killing other queer folk.
I would hope so. I'd hope that's not the case. But either way, if you say a harmful thing, if you want them to be different, if you want them to show up, move different, then you're harming. Yeah. You're doing more harm than good. Yeah. We get to just show up and love humans for however they show up in the world, however they choose to be. We do. We need each other. We absolutely need each other. We need the love. We need the support. Yeah. Like, we already have so much shit against us. Yeah. Like, we get to come together in these community spaces, have events, have safe spaces that support us in these ways, and like this is why I'm choosing to have these conversations.
And I applaud you for that.
Because thank you. Yeah. Because how else are we going to get past the stigma? Because it's just people just being ignorant and not educated enough on, a human just wanting to be what is not natural
first.
To...
Yeah, we judge first. It's our ego that's in the way.
Exactly. So and it's just a lot of people just not knowing. Yeah. So I was important to me to share the stories of the queer folks in our communities, because everybody has a story and a journey, their own queer story, their own queer journeys, and they have a lot to say.
It's not the same. None of these stories are the same.
Absolutely.
Not one is the same.
Yeah.
And each one is like, wow, I had no idea. Yeah. There's relatability, but it's not identical.
Exactly. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you though, because I feel like maybe you may or may not get this question a lot, because you did top surgery. You didn't do bottom surgery. Yeah. If someone were to come and be like, well, you're not fully transgender male, what would you say to that? Like, what was your choice for not having bottom? Did you plan to?
No.
Okay. What's your choice?
It was not the desire at all. I don't feel like because I have a vagina that makes me less of a man. I don't, it's just a body part, really. Like, it was, the chest for me was like, it just didn't feel right on my body. Okay. The vagina it wasn't really like messing up my mental.
I see.
Because I like, not TMI or anything, but like sexually, I don't do anything penetrative.
Okay.
So I don't attach it to that.
I see.
You know,
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah.
Other people, like, dude, you want to get, what is it called, phalloplasty? Like, please, by all means, do that for you. I'm like, I could just buy one if it's that serious for me. For me. But I get, like, some people really want to be able to, like, pee standing up and all that other stuff. I'm like, that wasn't the choice for me.
You didn't need that to feel.
I didn't need that. Complete. As soon as I had top surgery, I was like, oh, yes. And I also don't feel like that, because there's plenty of masculine presenting women out there that know exactly how to be masculine. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's really not what's on you, in you, it's how you present.
Exactly.
You know, like even when I was, a lesbian, I felt like I was a whole ass man. Yeah. My kids called me dad. Yeah. From my daughter was 2 years old, she started calling me dad. She knew I was a girl, or a woman, but she called me dad. Yeah, she knew that I was a man.
Did you teach her that?
I did not teach her that. She just did that on her own. Yeah, so you know when you know, and I just feel like when you're talking about masculinity, how you conduct yourself in that vibe is what makes you a man. Yeah. Or just masculine. It doesn't really necessarily have to be gender, because even if you're non-binary, you know how to, operate in your masculinity and in your femininity. And even though I'm presenting as a man, I still know how to operate in my masculinity and my femininity, for sure. Yeah. And I feel like it's because I detached from the need to have testosterone that I held on to that. Because I needed that person. Yeah. I needed to be able to, tap into the nurturing part of myself. Yeah. Wow, it's not quite the same as, when you're operating in a lot of hypermasculinity. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was a requirement for you to take testosterone when you transition. Like you had to do it.
Not required. So did I.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, not required.
But you have a choice.
You do have a choice.
Do you think people should start taking it just to see how they feel?
It just depends on the results that you're looking for, I think. Like me, I'm Asian, part Asian. Like, we're not really hairy, period. You know what I mean? And I didn't really love the whole facial. I'm like, I don't want a beard. Yeah. That's not my desire. I like being buff. Like, that's fun. Yeah. But I could do that without tea. Yeah. You see women out there all the time. They're straight bodybuilders, and not all of them are on testosterone. Yeah. But I feel like I'm in the best physical shape that I've ever been in my entire life, and I did it all without testosterone. Nice. So yeah, I don't feel like you need it. I know it's felt that you do, but you don't. Yeah. No.
But that didn't align.
No, you don't even need top surgery. Yeah. Like, you don't need any of it. If you feel that is who you are, that's who you are. Yeah. I'm not gonna like change your mind. You need to get top surgery. You need to get phalloplasty. No, you don't. You don't.
But for you, what felt good was
the top surgery. For me. Yeah. Yeah, for me.
I love that. Yeah. So every story is different.
Everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Okay, so for you, was it hard or challenging to pick up women and then express that you are a transgender male?
I've only been with one woman since. Okay. Yeah, and it wasn't hard at all having the dialogue. No. Because I'm like, bitch, you don't love me or not. There's somebody out there for everyone. I believe that. Yes. And I was just like, she falls in my lap, but I'm not gonna lie about who I am. I think that's very dangerous. Yes. Personally. Absolutely. So yeah, when I met Jules, I met her through a friend. We would have lunch and dinner and stuff. We would hang out a lot as friends. Like, I was just like, I'm about to friend zone. We friend zoning each other. Yeah. Like, we're not trying, because we're older. Like, we're not. Yeah. I'm not here to fake date. Dating's different when you're older. Yeah, just fake dating. I'm like,
in the 40s it's different.
It is different. Yeah. And she's 40 something. I won't put her whole name.
I heard that. I get you.
But I revealed myself right away to her. Yeah. It wasn't like anything. There was nothing to hide. I didn't feel like I needed to hide. Yeah. I do have friends that do that, though, that don't share. But I'm like, if you are attracted to somebody and you are vibing that they're attracted to you too, I feel like that is a requirement.
Yeah.
Please do not proceed.
Yeah.
But I know
I get why they're afraid to, but I get also see the importance.
Yeah.
The importance
there's like
of
a
sharing.
Safety aspect to it. Like for me, it's just that, like, you upset somebody, and we've seen it 1,000 times. I always think about, like, especially the trans women, like we lose a lot of trans women, and not just because like of how they look, but I know that there have been scenarios where you meet someone and they're attracted, you're attracted, and that person doesn't quite know because you look so legit, because you're a woman, and you are looking the whole part, right? But you don't say anything, and then that person finds out, and it's tragic. It's just tragic.
Well, I know I've read about the stories for sure.
So, and that, not that that's an excuse for anybody, but I feel like you just trigger something in someone, and they lose their shit. You know, and then now
you technically have lied to them.
And that sucks. It shouldn't be like that, but unfortunately, like, nobody deserves to die because they were afraid to tell. But, you know, it is a responsibility, because I feel like if you're not ready to be honest about it in your relationship, then don't be. Don't be out there like that. Just, you know, be in your body. Figure out who you are still, you know. Take the time, because somebody will show up for you.
Exactly.
Somebody will show up.
Thank you for saying that out loud. I think, there's definitely a level of acceptance and comfortability and safety that you have to gather within yourself.
100%.
In order to be able to then be in intimate relations with somebody else, because like you're giving yourself, you get to come full, whole, and complete with the truth.
I mean, it's hard enough without all the lies and bullshit.
Right?
Dude,
Seriously though.
It's hard enough.
It really is hard enough. And I get that. Is there anything you feel like I haven't asked that you'd want to talk about in relation to just the trans world, community, culture? Anything you want to speak on that's on your heart?
Man, dude, like, for me, it's just lead with love.
Lead with love.
Just lead with love. You know, there's so much happening in the world, and I speak to the cisgender, heterosexual community also. You know, it is hard for all of us to exist in this world that we are in right now. You know, so I get that we all have, you know, different cultural backgrounds, different religious backgrounds. I mean, you name it. Like, we were all designed different on purpose. You know, so how is it, like, for me, like, how am I going to judge the next guy? And it's just that. So I don't. I really, really try not to have judgment on anybody, because I don't know their life. Even if they're hating me, you've been approached. I've been approached with hate before, even here in Long Beach. And even the person that came at me and was ready to whoop my ass on the side of the street one day.
Because you were transgender?
Because I was trans.
Wow.
And he was black.
Wow.
So that threw me a little too. I was like, you are like the epitome of oppression, my man. Like, why are you even approaching me this way? But even still, I was like, I am not the person who hurt you. And I'm sorry for whoever did, but it wasn't me. But I send you away with love.
Wow.
And it's hard to do that. When I was 20, I couldn't. But this is how we have to be in order to exist with each other. On all levels. With all of our differences, because we all are. Period.
That part. Like you said, we can't approach hate with hate.
We cannot.
And it's so challenging to do when you're seeing people just getting murdered.
I know.
For their sexuality. And I get it. It's really hard to show up in that way.
It is hard.
But think of those people that took the lives of these people, these innocent people that are just living in their true authentic expression, and how much hate that they must have.
Exactly, because that's taught. So
we get to now show
them something different.
Show them love.
That's it.
And I think
that's it. As cliche as it sounds. But that's it.
Absolutely.
Like, genuine love. Like, I love you even though you hate my guts. Period.
It's hard, but we get to do it.
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 We get to do it. That's how you teach people love. Because they don't know it. Don't. If you're sitting there hating on somebody and want to murder them for just showing up and being themselves, then there's just too much hate in your heart. And so they get to witness people in love and what that looks like.
Yeah. Even if that's my end in that moment, you know what I mean? Even if that person decided to take my life that day, I still showed him love to the very end. And that would just be the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I would have to be okay. Obviously, would have to be okay with that, you know?
But don't go dying for a motherfucker, okay? Don't do that.
I didn't say that.
We said, you gonna defend, okay? With love.
No. I just stood there.
With love.
Like, we ain't fighting. Like, I'm gonna love you. Like, even though you're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
We just want to put that out there, too.
No,
like, if you got...
Yeah.
You got to protect yourself with the bows.
Sometimes...
Do it.
I didn't say stand there and get punched.
No.
I didn't say
Don't do that.
No.
Yeah.
But try.
Yeah.
You know,
you can choose your words.
You can choose your words.
Yeah.
You can choose to walk away even though it's hard.
Yeah.
Lord gave me strength.
That part.
Ooh, man.
Sitting here like.
Yeah.
All right, Lord. Send them the love and we're going to keep it moving. You just pray for him.
Yeah,
keep it moving.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure his life is totally different today. I believe it.
I believe you.
I believe it.
I believe you.
I swear I believe it. That man's probably different, like, dang.
Yeah. All right, well.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thank you for this beautiful, this has been a dope conversation. Thank you for this.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing. Like, you came through, you dropped mics everywhere.
Oh, God.
I got to pick them all up. But
thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure
to share. No, it's beautiful. Your story and your wisdom and your courage and you're just living in your true authentic expression. I hope people really get
me too
so much from this.
Me too.
And that's what I feel like that's part of your journey as well.
For sure.
And you're healing. Share it to the end. I love it.
That's right.
Thank you, Shaun.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.